Hey, Lee Wolf here. Welcome to Game Face Monday. We are live. I'm still bald and 5 pounds heavier from Thanksgiving weekend. I hope everyone else had a great holiday. Always, Mr. Richie Bello is by my side, and today we have a special guest, Anthony Alagona, who's a national sales trainer, a motivational speaker, and the founder and CEO of Appointments That Show. Really looking forward to talking to him today about the onset of AI and how that's affecting the land of the BDC. How you guys doing?
Thank you.
How's everyone doing?
Doing great. Thank you for having me.
Great, Lee. Thank you for having us, man.
Awesome. Oh, Richie, you have me. I don't have you.
Thank you for having us.
But before we get rolling on the show, as always, we're going to hear from our sponsor, Shop Smart Autos.
Look what's happening at Shop Smart Autos. Now, your dealership can instantly access your SSA VIN retention reports, empowering your dealerships with the crucial data you need to retain and regain your customers. The power is in your hands. It's a simple process. Set up a quick account, log into your dashboard, and search for the dealership you want an SSA VIN retention report on. In just seconds, you'll generate the report you need. The report goes straight to your email in less than a minute, and it's also available in your dashboard. Now you have the data you need as often as every month to control this digital goldmine. Find out the VINs you held onto, the ones you lost, and where they went. Then win back your customers with Shop Smart Autos. Inspect what you expect.
All right. Man, I can't stand that guy's voice. Whew. But anyway, Anthony, it's great having you on the show. As always, and I know we've kind of we've talked before about where you're coming from and how you got here, but we always have new eyes on the show. So why don't you just tell us, if you don't mind, a little bit about your history and how you ended up with Appointments That Show.
Of course. Well, first and foremost, thanks again to have me. It's a pleasure to be on with you guys. And my name is Anthony Alagona, and I own a company called Appointments That Show. We're an offsite business development center. We provide both on-site support to where we go to dealerships and we'll actually work with them and install their BDC processes. And we also provide an off-site or a hybrid model to where if they don't have the capacity to do it themselves, we can do it for them or work alongside their team, which is what we prefer to do, work alongside their team. Because at the end of the day, I tell dealers, nobody should be working their leads harder than themselves. But sometimes they don't have the capacity or the manpower, and I totally understand that because it's a challenging environment to work in, especially in the automotive industry. I've been doing this since the end of 2011. I spent about 20 years in hospitality before I jumped into the automotive space.
Wow.
And that's what kind of separates me I think from the rest of the people that do what I do, is that I come with the hospitality paradigm where I'm looking to over deliver on the customer experience and make them feel a certain way about their buying experience. And
Sure.
I try to tell dealerships it's really easy. It's easy to win in this industry if you just provide that customer service and make it all about the buying process and not the way we want to sell them a car.
Mm.
So when I first jumped into this business, I worked for somebody else. I did it for about 4.5 years. And in 2015, I decided that there was no more room for me to grow. So I decided to jump out on my own and create my own company. Very challenging, to say the least. There was a lot of obstacles that I faced, but I really, truly believe that I was given those obstacles to show me how much I wanted to succeed. And I put my head down and worked really hard. And I decided to create a name for myself and just take it one client at a time. I told myself when I left the company that I didn't need every dealership. There's a lot of dealerships out there. I could just get 12 to love me. If I provide good service, they bring me back a few times a year. I'd be doing what I love and doing well with it.
Right.
So that's what I focused on. I focused on just getting one at a time and just giving 150%. What I pride myself on is work ethic, optimism, a good energy, over delivering on expectations, and I have an ability to connect with people, and I try to really connect myself to the staff. So I like to, I said before we break any kind of records, we need to break bread with each other to make sure that we're out of the same playbook, and that we're running towards the same finish line. Because it's easy to say, hey, yeah, I want to pay you to get me your results, but we all know that doesn't happen overnight, and I'm not really teaching anything that's rocket science at the end of the day. There's a lot of people that teach what I do. every one of them works.
Yeah.
Just
And
one is not the only way to get the two.
yeah, and it's a huge thing. You coming from hospitality in that world, that makes like so much sense. It's almost like a therapist becoming an HR person, like
I kind of, I figured out that was my niche. I've always enjoyed hospitality. I worked for my parents at a young age, working at their gas station and convenience store. So I was always around people, and I thrive at being a solution, coming up with solutions for people and making them feel a certain way about their experience, especially when I was working in restaurants and working at fine dining restaurants as a server or a bartender or even as a general manager and really wanted to over deliver. And you had their whole night in your hands of how their night went. Right.
Yeah. So what's your take going through, hospitality and bridging that into what you're doing now and running your own business, and how has AI affected the situation? How do you see, is it evolving the BDC? Is it hindering things?
I think it's evolving it.
Okay.
It depends on who's using it, right, and how you use it. Some people want it to be a solution for everything because they think it's a good way to cut expenses, and it's a numbers game at the end of the day. So they don't mind having AI and robots take care of most of the lifting and setting a bunch of appointments that have a high show rate, and but they're setting a lot of them, and it's a lot more cost beneficial because you're not getting real manpower, so to speak.
Yeah.
I believe the ones that use it as a hybrid style to at their advantage, we should really be using AI to help us go back deeper into the sales funnel, to keep conversations going. But once these conversations start, it should be turned over to a real live human, because I don't teach people to set appointments. I teach people to make connections. The appointments come afterwards, right?
Right.
If there's 7 to 10 other dealerships getting the same lead that you are, what it really is a race to the relationship.
Right.
And I'm looking to get in touch with you first, and I'm the first impression of the dealership besides the website. So it just makes sense that, if the hardest part of my job is to get in contact with you, that when I do, I just have a strategy of how I'm going to talk to you, the information I'm going to gather from you, and how I'm going to build rapport with you.
Right.
And go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, Richie, Anthony said something very important here, that, that artificial intelligence, machine learning, whatever we want to, how we want to label it right now at this moment. It doesn't mean that in the end that the human element isn't needed.
Correct. In other words, like if you have like Chris Martinez, good guy, good friend of ours,
Very nice guy.
He's got the AI appointment setting. So what he does is, and Anthony knows about this, the problem is salespeople don't follow up. So sometimes when you get 5 rejections, 5 of them, that's it. They're done and they move on to the next one. And that customer might not be ready. See, that's the thing, right? And then they forget about that. And then they forget about that one. That's where Anthony comes in, the integration between the human and the AI agents, okay?
Absolutely.
Right. That's a big process. Now, Chris Martinez is one of the most successful guys with this AI thing, because what he does follows up 12 touches, okay? So, trust me, at 12 touches, that's it, you're done, right? With the sequence that he's got done, right? Chris has always been a really good trainer. I've been following him for quite some time.
Absolutely.
Anthony, right, has been always a top-notch trainer. He worked with this big company that trained, and I saw his scaling. But I got to say something about Anthony, what makes him a little different to Richie Bello's eyes. When I started this veteran thing 7 or 8 years ago, Anthony is one of the guys out there that supported Richie Bello. And today we have the grants. The grants will be available in March, and Anthony's one of our guys that's really helped. There's a lot of people out there that have really backed me up with the mission of vets. Anthony happens to be one of them. And come January, you'll see a landing page with a lot of guys that you don't even know that, but they really, really backed me up with their content, with their thing. They really supported Richie, right? Yeah. And Anthony's a vet, Okay. And I always knew that he was going to succeed once I found out he's a vet, because it's something called, in the military, roll call. Okay. They get trained every day. Every day is like, we start our day with this mindset from 5 or 4:30 in the morning to working out. It's a whole structure thing, right? Yeah. And I was not in the military, but when I got this nonprofit, I really took a deep dive under the hood, and I went to Washington, and they explained to me everything. As a matter of fact, I'm working on going with the influence that we have with Washington. And one of the reasons I'm going there is I'm working on going a 5-week or a 6-week program, even though I'm not a vet. And even though I'm not that, I'm looking to go like into the Marines 5 or 6 weeks. I always wanted to be part of the military, but I couldn't be part of it because I have seizures. So I want to just learn the perspective that the military has with the training, because they believe a lot in training people, right? And that's what something in the automotive space that really fits for the veteran workforce, right? Yeah. That they believe so much in that, right? The automotive sector used to be a time where, you know what, Richie, why am I going to train these salespeople so somebody else can benefit? I said, so what you're telling me is you want your untrained staff to deal with your customers? Yeah. Somebody else is definitely going to take care of those customers.
Absolutely.
So then the business model changed in the automotive sector as early as 2005, 2003, when the training perspective came in, because they weren't into that.
Yeah.
Today they are.
Yeah.
And that's perfect for the vets, And that's one of the things that Anthony does. He does the great integration with AI integrated with the human side, because the problem that there is, why you need AI agents, I believe, in the automotive sector, is because salespeople don't follow up. They just don't. You know how you know you got a good salesman? When he's terrible at follow up. That's how you know that you better get people in front of this guy, because he's going to sell them. Mm-hmm. They're not left brain. A salesman is right brain. He's not left brain. What Anthony does is picks and chooses left and right and puts that integration to the human side at a perfect match. And that's what's good about Anthony.
All right, well, give me 1 minute here. I just have one more message from Shop Smart Autos, and we'll be right back.
Shop Smart Autos knows the new car market is starting to take a back seat, and pre-owned is where it's at. That's why it's time to seriously tap into the private seller market. With Shop Smart Autos, your dealership can now target private sellers by zip code and radius. Yes, anyone looking to sell their vehicle in your area. Once you decide how many opportunities you want and start reaching out, Shop Smart Autos launches a complete dealer-branded nurture program that drives those sellers straight to your showroom. And the best part, you get all the details on the seller and the vehicle, so you know exactly what you're dealing with. So grab that trade, put them behind the wheel of their next vehicle, and create a world of growth and retention. Auctions are cutting into your profits, and sourcing quality pre-owned vehicles takes too much time. Shop Smart Autos has the answer, driving the private seller market to your door.
All righty. So, Anthony, I don't know if you have specific numbers, percentages, or just a general feeling. What's going on with the return on investment with the BDC today? Are you seeing a shift because of technology and AI? Are you seeing a shift because are they hiring less people?
So you know what? I'm still seeing the same challenges out there. Honestly, I mean, I'm in a lot of dealerships, and usually there's a disconnect between the BDC, the desk, and the salespeople.
Whatever.
There's just a lack of communication. You're still seeing an average appointment show rate at about 50% out there, which is, subpar. There's not a lot of dealerships that have strict follow-up processes, and not many make it a requirement to use the CRM. They make it a request. And that's the biggest challenge, is because, how can you pull out really good information if the information that's going in is not even correct?
Right.
The biggest BDCs are the heartbeat. I tell people, when I work with salespeople, I say, listen, would you rather be in your brick and mortar showroom or would you rather be in your digital showroom? I'd rather be in a digital showroom because there's always people in it. So, not many people are coming into the brick and mortar unless their appointment's set. Usually, I mean, there are fresh ups that come in, but I tell people, would you rather have a 20% chance to close somebody on a fresh up or increase that to about 50 to 60% when you get an internet or a phone up coming in, right?
Yeah.
So, the BDCs are the main heartbeat, and the dealerships that are excelling out there are making that at least a 65 to 70% of their business. It should be coming out of there because that's what most of their traffic is going into. But most dealerships don't account for it correctly, and don't log everything up, and don't really have a lot of strict processes in place. And that's what I see, and what I think the biggest challenge is to put a process in place and actually hold people to an account.
Yeah, I definitely found that like 75% of the people I was dealing with when I was in a dealership, the BDC was looked at like those people. And it was like, I used to go in there and hang out with them. Like if I had to go run across to that building and pick up a check or drop something off or whatever, first thing I would do on the way out was, the last thing I would do on the way out is stop in and just hang out with them, talk to them, ask them how they were doing.
Yeah.
The way we were able to work together and communicate together after forming those relationships with them, we still have a couple of relationships with them still, and I'm gone 5 years. It's such an unbelievable difference when you feel that. I call it a family.
Yeah.
It felt more like a family when I was able to integrate myself that way. But it felt like most people felt I was wasting my time.
Yeah, it's they should be working in unison, and the BDC honestly is the hardest job in the dealership. I mean, anybody can sell a car. I mean, even a vending machine can do it, right? Carvana does it,
right?
But try. The BDC's job is to. I tell them it's like a relay race. You're going to take that baton. You're going to paint the picture of what a good experience it is. I always, I teach my people to make sure that they identify themselves on the phone, and even when you're leaving voicemails, because if you don't identify yourself and what you do, they're going to assume that you're a salesperson, and their defensive mechanisms are going to be triggering throughout their entire thought process.
Yeah.
It's like when you go to the mall and you go to pick up a shirt off the rack, and the salesperson comes over and they say, "Can I help you?" You say, "I'm just looking." It's a mechanism. Your body does it naturally. So I tell them to say, "Hey, listen, just a heads up. I'm not in sales. I'm a client care manager. My job is to actually get you all the information that you're looking for online and to help streamline your buying process. We want to help you buy a car the way you want to buy it, not the way we want to sell it to you. Let me get you all that information, and then break down that barrier, create the trust, collect the information, collect all the dots so you can actually create a feeling of hospitality. And then when you create that feeling of hospitality, the odds they show up and do business with you increase dramatically."
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Richie, did you have that same feeling that I had, that the BDC was kind of looked at as just this separate world? You hope they're making their calls, and they kind of always felt like they needed a rope thrown to them or something
Well, if you talk about history, right, the BDC used to be a salesperson phone rooms that they hated.
Yeah.
Right. Then it went into BDC. I actually had the opportunity to be one of the first BDCs out there, Apple Honda, with the Nicholson Group and Dr. John Minarchik. And that press release is out there. I just don't say anything. But what I know is I go to a lot of stores and I don't say much, right?
Yeah.
Well, when I went to Orlando and I saw headquarters, Honda headquarters. He's a Cuban gentleman that owns it out of Miami area. Okay.
Yeah.
So I have a relationship because I'm Cuban, right? So I have a pretty good relationship in the Florida state.
Yeah.
Florida, I mean, trust me, I got a good relationship. When he told me Anthony Angola was there and he told me the process, and I said, I got it now. And I saw, and he was there a couple of years ago before me, and they still use that same process. And they're very successful with it.
It's not really hard, honestly. It's just the hard, I tell people
don't know this, but Honda headquarters there in Orlando.
Yeah.
Very, very aggressive Honda store.
Yeah.
Very, very good with appointments, and it's what they do. What Anthony shows people is to build that relationship. The appointment's going to happen if you have that relationship, which
Very
becomes
well.
the hospitality business. That's the way it is, the hospitality business, right? It's about the relationship. So with his process, I've been watching his process in a lot of different stores. And that's why I say that he is one of the top successful guys in BDC.
Thank you.
Why? Because he's got that side of him of the hospitality business. Then he worked with this company that made appointments, and he was just learning, and he knows he's his personality is driven by process, right? If you put a process in front of him, he's going to get the job done. That's the way being a veteran is. That's how you know when somebody's a veteran, when they're like that. He's driven by process, right? Yeah. And he loves people, and he just said it why he loves people. You know, his parents had this place that he had to do with people, right? So everything fits for what he really is. I call him an ace at what he does, because I've seen stores, not from him, I've seen stores that he doesn't even know that they've shown it to me. And I'm a lead generation company where specific lead goes to that specific dealership. You know, that dealership 3 or 4 years ago, and virtual BDC people, Greg Wells, which has a tremendous virtual BDC from Kentucky, he's a personal friend of mine. At one time, he didn't even want to follow up internet leads. Well, why? Because you have the other brands out there giving the same 5 customers to everybody. So the third party lead, people get to the point where it's frustrating. So with the AI agents, they're following it up and following it up. And it is working in some stores. The third party lead's very strong. It's about the mindset. The salesperson, this is a third party lead. You know what? Listen, BDC say, I'm tired of these people. The AI agent has no emotion tied in, has nothing. And now with the human integration side, it's perfect. And Anthony, what he really does really well, Lee, is he integrates the human side. Because in sales, you need humans. I mean, one thing is getting somebody to set up an appointment or something, but for you to make a living in sales, you need this. I don't know of any machine that can do this.
Nope.
Do you? I don't know any machine. Yeah.
No, you're right.
Just like the text, Anthony knows that if he even wants to talk to me, he calls me, because on the text, I'm not interested, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Lee knows that too. I'm just not interested.
Yeah, I got a call too.
I don't understand. Right, you got a call too. My email, I'm not interested. Call me. You need something, call me. Customers, you want something, call me, right? Because without this, you're not a salesman. You know, I lose my head if it wasn't attached to me, okay? I've never lost my cell phone.
Right, yeah.
Never. And I got 2 of them. Lee, have you ever seen me lose my cell phones?
I have not seen you lose your cell phones. Everything else.
I'd rather lose my life than my cell phones, because this is how I do business. This is my tool to earn. They're very difficult for me to lose my cell phone. I have partners that lose their cell phones because they're not paying attention to business.
Right.
They're giggle.
Best sales tool on the planet Earth.
Yeah, that's my sales tool. That is my CRM. That is everything to Richie. So
it's amazing.
I'm not going to lose my cell phone ever.
No way. It's amazing.
And I've had 90118 number since cell phones started coming out. I've only had one number. If you search it, it's always been my number.
That's great.
And I'll never lose that. And a lot of people don't understand what a salesman's tools are. He'll never lose. I don't pay attention to anything else. I don't even know how to log into my own CRM half the time. I got to tell Lee or somebody, send me the code, because I don't need to. I have the CRM on my phone, and that's how I communicate with people.
That's amazing.
And you know, Anthony, you are great, but I don't mean good. I mean, you're great at what you do. And especially in today's world, you're ahead of everybody else, because everybody is talking about ChatGPT. Everybody's talking about AI agents. And what you do is you integrate that AI agent into this, because you got to sell an appointment. That AI agent is not going to sell the appointment. What the AI agent's going to do is going to follow it up to get to that point.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. But the AI agent can't. but they're gonna do the hard work for that
Yes.
BDC person, that difficult work. Call this guy 12 times,
Absolutely.
and you don't have that mindset of, I'm tired of making these phone calls. And then you tell the other people in that BDC office, I'm so tired of this internet leads. And then you put them in a bad mindset. When
Right.
the AI agent comes in, what it is a positive perspective, because now they have something that can make phone calls. And then you
Absolutely.
can do your job much better with the integration.
Absolutely. It just gives you.
And that's what I'm excited about.
It gives you all the tools that you need. It's amazing.
Right.
If you're
It's
willing to
amazing.
use them.
Right.
Absolutely. What did you say, Anthony?
If you're willing to use them, right? Because most people aren't willing to use them, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to get to a point where you can't avoid it. It's like me. I mean, I was the guy. Email. I'm never going to use it.
Yeah, right. Remember
texting. I was watching everyone text on Blackberries, and I'm like,
remember that?
What is this?
Blackberries. I remember those. I used to have one. That's crazy.
Yeah, my father too. Never will I ever. My father and I, the old men, text 700 times a week. And
that's amazing.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it causes a little bit of a disconnect, I think, sometimes. But like we were saying, the phone call or seeing someone in person, because it feels like you're constantly with people, but you're really not.
It's crazy.
It's weird.
Yeah.
And the real positive thing with this AI evolution going in, Anthony is the guy that can integrate the AI. And how do you get a dealership, Mr. Dealer? How do you get AI agents? Well, Anthony knows the integration of the AI agents, but he knows the integration of the people to maximize your appointments more.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. And Anthony is so well ahead of the curve right now, because as far as I'm concerned, he's one of the few guys out there that knows how to do this.
You got to love what you do, right? If you love what you do, it's going to come, you're going to put a lot behind it. And I'm not looking to work with every dealership. I'm looking to work with the dealerships that are looking to make them, make a move. And I pride myself on holding accountability. Like, when I opened up my offsite BDC, I opened it up because I wanted to kind of understand the pain points behind the dealers with their BDCs, because I was going back to the same ones and training over and over again. And I come to the point to where I can use it to my advantage to help hold accountability when I go in and install a process, because I'm a realist. When I go into a dealership, I know that I'm going to install the process. And if I'm in front of 15 people, and hopefully the management staff is all there, because, if they're not, how are they going to know if the process works if they never even learned it? But I tell them, if there's 15 of you here, I'm lucky to reach 5 of you, right? This is a numbers game. And most of you guys are going to not do this when I leave, right? And the dealer is going to blame me, because I'm going to teach you something that you're probably not going to want to use. I was like, but the difference now is that I have an offsite BDC, and now I'm in your CRM, and now I'm crawling through your everyday leads, looking at your process, seeing what your notes you're taking and what you're not doing, and when you're following up, and if you're sending text messages out. And that's really helped me help my clients to hold account to themselves, because I've seen it right after I walked out of dealerships to where they don't even use it. And now I have my teams in there looking at their CRMs saying, okay, you just got this process. You're not using it. Why are you not using it? And it really, helps them hold themselves to account, which is great.
Right.
Helps me.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anthony, and we didn't mention in the beginning of the show, and we should have, but Richie brought it up. We are thankful for your military background.
Listen, I'm more thankful to do it. I was a knucklehead back then. I needed a place to go.
Well, that topic, though, brings up the point about Richie's book, Let Data Take the Wheel, which actually, this will make Richie feel good. I always have a copy of it right next to me.
Oh, that's nice. Let's go.
This has been on Amazon now for like a year, right? Something like that. All the proceeds have been going to StopSoldierSuicide.org. Richie's new book, Ignite Your Might, should be hitting sometime in the beginning of next year, from what I understand, and pre-orders will be coming up. All the proceeds from that book are going to be going to Soldier Angels.
That's amazing.
All right. And
that's awesome.
Rich, I don't know if you have anything to add on that.
No, I'm just excited that I have the ability, because I don't know how to write, but I have people that do, that I have the ability to write stuff, and my people can write it from listening to podcasts and all that stuff and listening to videos. And that ability, I always give credit to those people that write it for me. One of them was Mike Lewis on this book. Jean Fontana gave me a lot of help with writing the book.
That's
so
awesome.
I want to give her that credit. And, you know, it's like really helpful because I don't make any money on any book sale. I'm not into it. I just want to give it to a cause, which is the veteran. I mean, the veteran suicide, when they reached out to me about the suicide and I looked at the numbers, I almost fell down. I didn't know it was that high. So I decided to do that. And now the second time around is Soldier Angels, because I have a relationship with Amy Palmer, which is the creator of Soldier Angels, and what she's done. She's a disabled vet, and what she's done for the disabled vet is crazy.
That's amazing.
The time and the money she's put in it, and the donation she receives. I know she's always working with the disabled vets.
Yeah.
So she needs a little bit of more donation. So I decided to make this book. We all decided as a team to make this book and give everything profits to Soldier Angels. I always do that with all my books because the veteran community is very important. These companies that we all have, the profitable companies, they don't make any sense to me. We're going to sell them and walk away from it. Somebody else is going to be with ShopSmart. Somebody else is going to be doing what I'm doing in the next 20 years, right? Because obviously I'm not going to be around. But the Institute's always going to be around. I put it already in a trust fund, and it's already got, you know, anything happens to me, it's going to still exist.
That's amazing.
Always. And it's a nonprofit, and it's my mission of what I want to help the veterans out. You know, to me, veterans are more important than any profit I could ever make in any company.
Good for you. That's amazing, brother.
Absolutely.
You know?
Completely agree. And Anthony, I'm just going to pop your information again up on the screen there. Anything you want to add before we roll here? We got a few minutes left on the show. The process, how to get started, besides calling that phone number?
You know what? It's number one, deciding that you want to provide a better experience in your digital showroom to your prospective clients. You know, it takes a lot. You know, BDCs are challenging, but if a dealership is willing to put them in the forefront and to really embrace the people, it's not just teaching them the process. It's about making it a place that you want to work at too. Like I've been installing a bunch of dealerships recently, and part of the things I'm doing is I'm going to be going there and help paint their rooms. Like, you know, I really believe that the energy in the BDC is interdependent on how you have your BDC set up. Is it a desirable place to be working in, right? When you walk into that room, is it a place that you want to be? Because, you know, at the end of the day, you're going to spend 40 to 50 hours with your work family every week, more than you're going to spend with your family. Yeah. So I want it to be almost a place that they want to be, right? So they can excel. So, you know, it's if you love BDC, you know, reach out to me. If you need help, if you need any tips, you know, I don't charge for conversations. I just like to talk shop a lot. So I'm here for if you need an ear, if you need some advice, or if you want to talk business, we can do that too.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's awesome. And you know, my father used to always say to me, because he would be like, "You need a better bed."
Yeah.
He'd always say, "You need a better bed," and I'm like, "Who the hell cares about?" He goes, "You spend 1/3 of your life."
Yeah. Crazy, right?
Yeah. And you spend more than 1/3 of your life working in automotive or a BDC, and your work environment is really important, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then a good TV.
Absolutely. You know, it's just about having the right people and the right energy around you. And what I see most in dealerships is, you know, there's no really written goals out there. Like, you know, when I walk into a BDC, what's your goal this month? As a department and as an individual, you're coming into work. You don't make the same money every month. You don't have to, right?
Yeah.
What's your financial goal, and how is it tied to what you're going to do every day?
Right. Awesome. Rich, you got anything else for us, or we?
No, I'm excited. I'm very excited. I'm excited to see Anthony's growth and learning, and so much where he's done throughout the years. I think it was 2010 or 2011. I used to see an image he used to write with the orange thing.
Yeah,
put his name. It was beautiful. Yeah, and I used to share that everywhere. I was always impressed. And to see him today with Also, he does his own event. To see him today, how he has scaled and all that,
Yeah.
I really feel good
Thank
that
you.
it's great to see somebody like that. And I clap for him all
I
the time.
Listen, I appreciate your support,
because
brother. It means a lot to me.
Anthony is a type of guy that is going to grow, and where he's at now, where he's going to be at tomorrow, it's going to be a whole different thing because he's going to continue to learn and grow, and he really deserves it. He's a great person, and he's done a lot for this country, and he has served this country. And from the bottom of my heart, Anthony, thank you.
I love you, brother. Thank you
Love you
both.
too.
Lee, I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, thank you for being here today, and Richie, thank you
course.
for having me by your side as always. And
Absolutely.
and thanks to everyone out there for watching and listening. And we will be back again next week.
Boys,
Thank
you
you,
have a
guys.
great day today, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.